Welcome to our week ahead energy alchemy forecast. We are looking at November 24th through the 30th. We are rounding out November this week. Not a ton of astrology, but what is happening is significant or minorly significant, impactful. Let's say it that way. So the theme of the week is slow down to speed up. Slow down to speed up. Okay? On the 24th, today, we do not have any major astrology, but tomorrow, Monday, the 25th, everyone's favorite transit, you guessed it, Mercury retrograde. The crowd goes wild. We have that happening until December 15th. We have a little bit longer than that, but it will station direct on the 15th, okay? Now, this is happening in the sign of Sagittarius, and Mercury retrograde is always when we have a slowdown of communication, a slowdown of technology, a slowdown of the way that we are thinking, mental fog that tends to unfold during these periods of time, okay? And for the duration of this, which is a majority of the holiday season, we've got this confuddled Mercury energy, and Mercury is travel and Sag is travel, and like we have just a lot going on with this transit, and it's not bad. No retrogrades are bad, no transits are bad. All transits are here to do is to give us an opportunity to expand, to grow, and to, in particular with retrogrades, it's giving us the opportunity to reflect and to integrate what we've learned since the last retrograde, okay? Now, Mercury retrogrades quite frequently, a few times a year. And the reason why it does it is because A, it's a faster moving transit, but also because it's our thought processes, it's giving us more time and more opportunity to reflect, review, and integrate what we've been thinking about and working through on thought and communicative level. What's also nice about Mercury retrograde is because we have it so often, we're getting so many opportunities to hit a reset button here versus being stuck in an energy. But why it ends up being so notorious is because it rules over technology. When it goes retrograde and we are so tech driven, it gets wonky and we notice it. So it's just something to be mindful of. If you have travel plans, specifically this week, okay? If you've got travel plans because you're going somewhere for Thanksgiving or you're going somewhere for the holiday season, you need to give yourself ample time. Take into account the worst case scenario. I don't normally like to think like that, but with Mercury retrograde, it happens all the time. I'll give you an example. Once I bought a car and I was signing the contract under a Mercury retrograde. 2 or 3 weeks later, like before the Mercury retrograde had ended, my rear view mirror fell off, literally reviews, right? And that's what a retrograde is asking us to do, to review. My rear view mirror fell off and they had to replace my entire windshield. They couldn't just replace the mirror, they had to replace the entire windshield. So I had just signed on the car and then I had to turn the car back in and have a rental car for like a few months. It just happens with the Mercury retrograde. So, you just want to take into consideration, and I had the thought as I was signing for the car. I was like, oh, it's a retrograde. You're really not supposed to sign contracts, okay? But I did it, and still it happened. So you want to pay attention. You want to give yourself ample time to travel. Take into consideration that traffic, take into consideration flight delays, take into consideration long lines of people that can't pull up their reservations because, again, we're so tech savvy. People think about when you take a flight somewhere, it asks you to check in online like 24 hours in advance on your phone in your emails. Now, what happens when technology is all wonky and we can't check into our flights? That means longer lines for people to check in, to get their boarding passes, to problems printing boarding passes, because just because our technology isn't working doesn't mean theirs is going to be working perfect. We have to count for the airport systems to be having issues too. So just take all of it into consideration. Be early, be over prepared for travel when it comes to this Mercury retrograde. You also want to be aware that during this period of time, there's always like a theme to Mercury retrograde or something that we're like looking at, focusing on, taking into consideration, etc. And so with Mercury retrograde in Sag, there is this like high and mighty energy. Like, I know it all, you don't know anything. But there's also this like the shadow, which that is already shadow, but like the deeper shadow of that is like saying the wrong thing, our fear of saying the wrong thing. So we don't speak out, we don't advocate, we don't promote what is actually important to us because we're afraid to say the wrong thing, afraid to hurt somebody's feeling, afraid to get facts wrong. I don't mean to say facts like this. That's not meant wrong. Like afraid to get the details wrong or afraid to call somebody out when we're like, that doesn't sound right, you know? So it's this like high and mighty energy, and it's almost like weaponizing words in a way. And then there's like this other piece of it that is afraid to correct people or say the wrong thing, so we just don't say anything at all, you know, afraid to be canceled, afraid for whatever, you know, whatever, like scrutiny, persecution, and so we don't say anything at all. But that doesn't really work when it's not aligning with our values. And when it comes to Sag, because it's the flaming arrow of truth, it needs to align with your values. So either you're over confident in your communication and you're not able to back it up, you need to look at that and integrate that, or you're saying afraid to say the wrong thing, and so you're not saying anything at all, and so you're constantly just in this space of like you're trying to aim your archery bow, you're trying to aim that archery bow to something, but you haven't been able to do it yet because you're out of alignment, because you're not in integrity with what you actually feel, believe, or need to say. So that's on the 25th, okay? The 26th, we have then the sun, which is in Sagittarius, trining, which is a fortuitous aspect, Mars, which is in Leo. And this to me feels, to go back to the art, feels like ready, aim, fire. So Sag is the flaming arrow of truth. They are the archer. They are going to get into alignment. They are going to find their target. And then Mars in Leo is like, go, go, go. Do it. You got it. So this feels like ready, aim, fire. And that's what is leading me to this slow down, speed up. Okay. Like we need to slow down, review, reflect, and take in all of the beautiful lessons that Mercury retrograde is going to bring for us. But there is something actionable about this week too, and that is going to be the dance, probably, as we move through Mercury retrograde. It's going to be this dance of slowing down to speed up, slowing down to speed up, going 2 steps backward, 3 steps forward, 2 steps backward, 3 steps forward. And you don't realize, but at the end of the day, you are still making progress. So pay attention to that. And then that's it for the rest of the week until the beginning of December. I do want to say that on Thursday, it's Thanksgiving. I am doing a Thanksgiving workshop. This is around gratitude. Shocking, but it is such an important practice. Gratitude is literally one of the things that will most effectively change your life. So if you're interested in doing that, I will tag it here. And let's get into our cards, okay? Let's get into our cards. So we are looking at where we need to slow down to speed up. Pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3. 1, 2, 3. Trust your gut, okay? Pile number 1. Craft my core desires with certainty and ease. Ooh, I just got chills. This is giving me the magician vibes. Okay, so you can see she's got, I think that's a shell, flower, a feather, and then like a little carafe. And what that is telling me is that that's the 4 elements. So water, I'm sorry, I don't know what that is. I must be missing whatever that is. But it's almost like she's got all the elements here, like water, maybe that's a little incense holder. So let's just say it's fire, water, earth, and air. I could be getting that wrong. Maybe that's not what they were doing, but that was my initial takeaway when I was looking at it. Like you have all of the resources that you need. And then you got the death card, the death and rebirth card. This is the Phoenix. And I love this card. So when we're talking about slowing down to speed up, we are talking about literally letting go of anything that does not support your craft and your core desires with certainty. I craft my core desires with certainty and ease. This is about manifesting. What kind of life do you want to live? Especially because Sagittarius is that flaming arrow of truth. If you're out of alignment and you keep like aiming this way, but you're really supposed to be going or forget where you're supposed to be going. You really want to do this. You really want to go and be an artist. Maybe you want to make music. Maybe you want to paint. Maybe you want to be a pastry maker. I don't know. Whatever your craft is, whatever brings you joy, that brings you creative fulfillment, that brings you a sense of purpose, whatever your craft is, and it doesn't have to be creative, proper, but wherever you're getting that dose of energy, it's almost like asking you to let go of whatever it is that is keeping you out of alignment. And so you need to look at that. You need to look at, is it a fear? And again, Mercury retrograde in Sag is asking you to review and reflect your thoughts and beliefs, especially because Sag is also the philosopher. What is your personal philosophy? If you're telling yourself that you can't make money off of your craft, that people who make money off their craft are not able to support themselves, starving artist energy, you're stuck in an old belief or an old paradigm, because welcome to where we are right now. You can get on Instagram and TikTok and make content about what it is that you love and care about, and it can take off. This is changing the publishing industry. It's changing the way that it's changing the music industry. It is so easy right now to actually be connected to your craft and what you love and care about. But if you have an old thought or belief that's stuck in there, that's spinning around like your personal philosophy, it's going to keep you aiming at this target when you really want to aim over here. So what is it that you need to let go of? If this is the life that you want to live, if that's the person that you want to be, what do you need to let go of and shed on a belief level, on a thought process level, and start recreating your thoughts, patterns, and beliefs to support your craft and your core desires with certainty and ease? You have what it takes. That is for you, number 1. Pile number 2. Okay. Slow down to speed up. I am courageous, steady, and strong. Something about this feels timing-wise. Also, this is interesting because we have the sun trining Mars in Leo. Leo is the lion. So there is something about paying attention to what unfolds for you on Tuesday, because that energy is being highlighted. So pay attention to what's happening for you on Tuesday, pile number 2, because that feels significant. Your card is also the Queen of Pentacles. Now we have a ram there, so this is Aries. So there's quite a bit of astrology that feels connected to this, but this idea of being strong and courageous, it's slowing down and figuring out where you need to put time, energy, and effort into something that you want to monetize, or where you need to go deeper into your abundance mindset. This is connected to money. It's connected to your stability. And stability does not have to equate to financial landscape, okay? I'm just saying that because the card is conventionally tagged to money, but it's connected to our stability in general. And so when we're talking about slowing down to speed up, is there something about the foundation of your stability that isn't working or won't work long term, that you then need to be courageous and strong to actually shift? Is that a relationship with another person? Is that a job? Maybe you're at a job that you love, but there's nowhere to grow. Maybe there's no senior positions. Maybe there's no management positions. And so you're just going to kind of stay stuck here. It's working for you right now, but what about 5 years from now? Where do you want your life to go? If you're slowing down to speed up and you're reflecting and reviewing about where your life is and where you want your life to go, and you are the archer setting up your arrow for ultimate success so that when you shoot, it hits. Okay, maybe this is working for you right now, but is it going to work for you long term? It's asking you to be even courageous with yourself and honest with yourself, strong with yourself, that you can say, okay, well, I like this, but where am I going? Maybe I like this, but there's nowhere else to grow. Maybe you're in a good partnership and it's working for you right now, but their 10-year plan or their 5-year plan is going to take them to another state and you don't want to move. Is it working for you? Maybe you want kids and they don't. or vice versa? Is that going to work for you long term? It's asking you to be honest and courageous with yourself so that you can actually build stability and the foundation of stability and abundance for the life that you're preparing for, not necessarily the life that you're in. Okay, so that is for you, pile number 2. Oops. Pile number 3. Okay. Pile number 3. Slow down to speed up. My community is supportive, loving, and active in the world. I love this. This feels like slow down to speed up because it's in particular, this is like not just your vision. It's not a personal vision. It's a collective vision. You are seeing the rest of us are living in 2024. Okay, you're living in 2034, baby. You're looking ahead. It's not just about you. It's where you want the world to be. So this isn't just about you. It's my community slowing down to speed up around community, which means that you have to have heart-centered action. Now, I love this. This is the Prince of Wands. You can see he's got this like heart energy. His heart chakra is all lit up, but he's got all that red around him. He's grounded. He's got the lion, so he is courageous and strong. He's got an Egyptian Teotet or Thoth, depending on how you pronounce it. So he's got Thoth, which is all about our communication, how we speak, and our third eye. So he's got some like really lovely energy behind him as fearlessly moves forward. He's on a chariot. It's hard to see, but there's wheels. They are aflame, but that is his passion. He is moving forward passionately. His heart is leading him forward. So where is it that you need to get aligned with the value of community that you want to see? Where do you want the world to be? What should the world look like? What do you think do you think the world should be a kinder place? Well, that means that you have to work twice as hard to be kind. Do you think that the world should be more giving? That means you have to work twice as hard to be giving. So it's asking you to settle into the embodiment of the value that you're trying to bring. But this isn't just about you. When we're talking about slowing down to speed up, this is about you slowing down to get into alignment with what you actually think the world could be, and then speeding up to be that thing because you're supposed to be leading. And here's the thing about leaders. Leaders have to do it first. Trailblazers have to make the trail. But you also need to turn around and witness the fact that other people are now walking the trail. You've done something. So you might feel alternative because you may start something. And by the way, you can start something. Maybe your literal community needs a YMCA or some sort of community recreational center or something like that. Maybe you just want to create a space for everybody to come in. Maybe you want to create the space. Maybe it's not literally about the value of the community. Maybe it's a literal space where everyone's welcome in and we offer all different types of diverse and inclusive experiences. I don't know, you know. But whatever that is for you, it's larger than just you. But it's about you getting aligned into the value of that thing so you can support the loving community that you want to see in the world. Okay, pile number 3. Have a lovely, beautiful week. Happy Thanksgiving. Love you guys. See you next week.